Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Willy podcast, where we cover the Philadelphia Eagles. As we know, it was week one of the NFL season. The Eagles faced off against the New England Patriots. The Eagles ended up walking out of that game with a 25-20 victory. All right, so as we know, it was the first week of the NFL season, and teams start off slow. They have rust build up, and they got to shake that off. And that's exactly what happened with the Philadelphia Eagles. We have a super talented team, but even the most talented teams, they come out with rust. The Kansas City Chiefs, they got beat by the Lions week one. Now, I know the Lions are they're building a pretty decent team over there, but you never know what can happen the first week of the NFL season. As I stated, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Last year we started slow against the Lions last year, and we ended up making it all the way to the Super Bowl. So we can't take that too heavy. Going into the season, it's just week one. We got a lot of rust to knock off. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but there's nothing more to say about week one other than there's a lot of rust to knock off. And then also even later in the season, we had slow games against the Indianapolis Colts and the Giants the last week of the regular season to get that first round bye in the playoffs. So it's the NFL. Things happen every single week. You can't blow out teams every single week, no matter how talented your team is. So just keep that into account, and I think the Eagles are going to be just fine this season. I'm not gonna harp on this close game too much. So I watched over some of the press conferences, and I listened to Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, and with Nick Sirianni, I totally agree with him. He's the coaching staff himself, and the coaching staff have to put these players in a better position to make more plays, to win by more. And I think that starts by getting Deandre Swift involved more. I think Kenneth Gainwell had a great game. We'll get into that a little bit later when I'm talking about individual players. But as a coaching standpoint, they got to get DeAndre Swift involved more into the game. They got to get Dallas Goedert involved more in the game. They got to get A.J. Brown involved in the game early as well. I know he was later on. And, when you have players all over the field, you can't just keep dishing the ball. Everybody's going to have their turn whenever you have a lot of good players on one team. But as Nick Sirianni stated, they got to do a better job. I agree with that. And also it was the first game for Brian Johnson and Desai to coach. And then with Jalen Hurts in his press conference, he stated, he obviously knows that he needs to perform at a higher level, and I believe that he's going to do that. He is still the top quarterback in the NFL. To me, call me out for it. He's going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks in history. I'm just putting that out there now. But anyways, he knows he's got to be able to play at a better level. He knows the team's got to play at a better level. I mean, they're all NFL players. If you're a great NFL player, you know that, and you know what you got to do. You got to go study the film, see what went wrong. And you were playing against a good defense coached by Belichick. There's nothing else that you could really do other than go in there, watch film, grow from it, and I know that's exactly what he's going to do, and I know that's what this team is going to do as a whole. He also stated that coming out and getting the win is all that matters, and at the end of the day, really, that is all that matters. Down the road, even though this was a close win, if we are in the position to get a first seed, this game is probably going to help out, with that, because it's not going to be a loss. So, anytime you can get a win is a win in the NFL, so just keep that in mind, and we'll see if that matters down the road. All right, so let's talk about the offense. And the first person that I want to talk about in this offense is Kenneth Gainwell. I think he had a pretty good game. He had 14 carries for 54 yards, 3.9 yards per carry. That's honestly a great game. I would just like to see the ball spread out more to DeAndre Swift and a Boston Scott. You went and traded for DeAndre Swift, so there's no reason that DeAndre Swift should not be way more involved, even in the passing game. I'm pretty sure I heard that they had him working out with the wide receivers, and you give them one carry and one catch that went for 0 yards. They just got to find that way, and I know that they will. Like I said, it's week one. Can't harp on things. So also, Dallas Goedert, he had no catches. He had one target, no catches. I know that Jalen Hurts, I went back and watched a little bit. Jalen Hurts missed him on a couple plays. It was pretty painful to watch, but we still ended up walking out of there with the victory. And also in Nick Sirianni's press conference, he harped on that he made a comparison that in the first week last year against the Lions, Devontae Smith didn't have any catches, and Devontae Smith went on to have a 1,000-yard season. So, like, people can't panic. Dallas Goedert, he's still going to be a key piece to this offense. I think next week he's going to have a big game. He's going to have a big game because the Vikings, they got some pretty good firepower over there. So we're going to need our offense firing on all cylinders, and I think we're going to get there. We're going to take it up a level. I want to talk about A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith as a pair. They both had 7 catches. A.J. Brown had 79 yards, and Devontae Smith had 47 yards. So pretty decent games between those two. Devontae Smith had that touchdown. It was a pretty nice grab. It was a real tight space. Got his feet down, stayed in bounds. So that's really all I'm going to say about our offensive side of the ball. All right, so for the defensive side, the first person that I want to talk about Jalen Carter. I was excited for this pick whenever we picked him in the NFL draft, and, it's looking like it's really, really going to pay off, and other teams are going to be hanging their head that they didn't pick him up. He had his first sack. He had 6 pressures. I'm pretty sure that I saw him making tackles. I saw him clogging up holes and stuff. So there's not much more that you could ask out of him, and getting to pair him with Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis had half a sack. I'm pretty sure he shared that with Josh Sweat. Those are going to be our 2 future defensive tackles years down the road, and they're learning from Fletcher Cox. So, we just got to keep watching them, keep hoping that they evolve, and I know that they're going to be key pieces of this defense. Darius Slay, he had the 70-yard pick 6. That definitely helped towards our victory. It was a deflection, whatever. He didn't make the play, but he made the play. He got the touchdown, so you can't take that away from him. And I'm glad that we brought him back and we brought Bradbury back, because it paid off yesterday, and we're going to see more of that throughout the season. Reed Blankenship. Now, a lot of concerns were with the safety position, if we were going to be able to fill the C.J. Gardner-Johnson gap. And Reed Blankenship, man, he came in, he had 12 total tackles, 9 solo, 2 pass deflections. He's going to be here for a while, and I'm excited for that. He's starting to grow into one of my favorite players on the defense, so we're going to keep watching him throughout the season, and we're going to see how much he progresses. Lastly, I want to talk about Hassan Reddick. Now, I was kind of a little bit disappointed in Hassan Reddick's performance, just because he's one of those double-digit sack guys. Like I also said, it's week 1. I can't hang on anything, and I think he's going to turn it up. But I was a little bit disappointed just because, the Patriots were missing 2 starting offensive linemen, and just as a team, sack-wise, we only had 2, and I just believe that this defense is capable of getting 5 to 7 sacks on any given game. So, week 1, we just got to do better and turn things up. Lastly, I want to talk about the special teams. I think that we were middle of the road special teams-wise. Britton Covey had that one return that was pretty decent. Sippos, he punted pretty decent. They weren't bad punts. We were backed up pretty close to our goal line for a lot of the first half. So I'm glad that he was able to punt well and get us get some yardage made up for what we were losing. And then lastly, I want to talk about my player of the game. He was also part of the special teams. That is Jake Elliott. I think without Jake Elliott, we do not win this game. He was 4 for 4. His longest one was 56 yards. A lot of those kicks that he did, those were clutch points, and we needed those. And I 100% believe in my mind that Jake Elliott is the reason why we won the game. And, there's not much more that I could say about week 1, other than, we came out with the victory. I think the team learned that there's more that you got to do. We got to shake the rust off. I think fans got a little bit humbled. I know I got a little bit humbled, I'm not one to be all up in other people's faces, but I talked a little bit of crap about the Pittsburgh Steelers and stuff, and how they got blown out. And then when the Eagles started to lose their ground, I was just like, man, this game brought me back to reality a little bit more. We're not an undefeatable team. So we got to keep that in mind. I still think that we're going to end up in the Super Bowl at the end of the season. I think we're going to be the Super Bowl champs, because I know Jalen Hurts is that worker. I know this team has that same mentality, when they have Jalen Hurts leading this team, and how much he has an impact on this team. And, you want that out of your quarterback. You want somebody who can come in, be a high motor, be accountable, be a great athlete whenever you need him to be an athlete. Like Hurts was able to get out of the pocket. I think it was a 3rd and 3, and he got that first down for us. So, I think there's things that they're going to go fix. They know that they're NFL players. This team is full of great character players. So I believe that they're going to go in, they're going to come out on Thursday, and they're going to whoop some ass. So with that being said, thank you for watching this. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be getting as many of these videos in every week as we can. So at least one for the preview of a game. So I'm going to have one coming out on Wednesday. We're going to have one the night of a game, and then we're going to have one the next day of a game at least. So with that being said, this is the Philly Willy podcast. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.